Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only Tiffany E, aka Sexline TV2, and I am here to give you guys all of the tea when it comes to wrestling and maybe a little bit of odds and ends in between there. So why don't you go ahead, go get your snacks, go get your juice, go get you a good drink, a good glass of wine if you can drink it. If you're underage, don't be drinking, okay? Go on and get you some juice or something and sit back and listen as we kiki and holler about wrestling. Because over here, you get a plethora of things when it comes to my show, okay? You get wrestling commentary.
No benefit of the doubt. Dr. Phil say don't do that. Dr. Phil say when somebody show you who they are, and so did Maya Angelou, believe them. Them two hoes are snakes. They've been snakes, and them hoes was like that when you got there, and they like that now, so fuck them both. And they did the right thing by letting them headline WrestleMania. They most definitely deserve to headline WrestleMania, and that is how you close a mania.
What else we get? You'll also get a weekly recap of every single show that WWE has to offer. Monday Night Raw after show, NXT after show, and of course a Friday Night SmackDown after show. You'll also get a recap of all the Big 5 PLEs. I even do the Saudi shows for you. And then, if it's good and worth the time, I may even throw a little AEW in there. But of course, I will do my best to make sure I recap as many PLEs as possible. If I don't have it, then I'll throw it to one of my friends who do know it. We also cover pop culture, and we have really good time over here with lifestyle and just giving advice. So, if you're ready, it's showtime, and that is on the ancestors, baby. Take a shower? Okay. Well, welcome back, everybody. So, top comments of the day goes to Icy Brazy, Quan, and Kayla. All right. So hello to everybody. My day was fine. Thank you for asking. My moderators are here. Hello to Kenny, Hiram, and Aaliyah, and of course my honorary moderator and Kayla. Alrighty. We're gonna talk about NXT because it was such a good show. If you missed NXT, God, you are missing out because it is so good. Shawn Michaels really has stepped his game up and revived and just given us the keys to the kingdom when it comes to a very good show. Like, it's really, really good. So let's get into it, okay? All right. So the very first match of the night was Thea versus Tiffany Stratton. Okay. Now, Thea and Tiffany Stratton had a pretty decent match. It was a big back and forth between the two girls. Thea would have the upper hand at one moment, then Tiffany would regain it, then Thea would regain it. And it kind of went back and forth that way. But the problem was towards the end of the match, you had Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey out there causing all types of issues for no fucking reason. Now, they got on the apron and caused a big distraction for Thea. They initially pulled the ropes away so that Tiffany could not utilize the ropes anymore while Thea was using her submission move. However, Thea didn't want to win that way. She wanted to win fair and square so Tiffany would have no question as to whether she beat her or not. And technically, Thea did beat her. Tiffany tapped immediately once Thea put that clutch on her. And it was because of Drew Gulak being on the apron, he cost her that championship. Tiffany rolled up Thea and ended up getting a roll-up pin on her, and that's how she was able to win the match. Now, Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak ended up attacking Duke Hudson because after her loss, for whatever reason, Charlie and Drew decided to berate Thea in the ring while she was trying to say, I did everything I could. I did what I was supposed to. I did everything you told me. I did it like you told me. I lost. They were like, you're a loser. You lost. You shouldn't have lost. You did this. And it was their fault why she lost. Thea actually put on a very solid match against Tiffany Stratton, but due to their interference, she ended up losing the match. Duke Hudson did very little to get them off of Thea, and that's when Andre Chase finally returned to take back over Chase U. He came out there and took out both Charlie and Drew Gulak, and then him and Duke together took them out. They got them out of the ring, and Thea seemed to be having a little bit more pep in her step, was running circles around the two, and Andre Chase got a big reception. So we love that for Andre Chase, okay? I'm glad that he's back. He took a long fucking time to come back, but I'm glad that he's back, and I'm glad that he was there for Thea because somebody had to. Thea Hale was robbed. I don't care what none of you hoes in the comments say. I don't care what nobody's talking about on social media. She beat Tiffany Stratton. Tiffany's bitch ass tapped. Plain and simple. Okay? Call it what you want, but it is what it is. Now, the next match we saw was Malik Blade and Idris Enofe going up against Gallus. Another match that was ended up being in Idris and Malik's favor, but they cost them the match due to Stax's treachery. Now, Stax basically kidnapped Joe Coffey last week. Made it look like he was all for the squad, right? He was down for the dime. But in all actuality, Stax is the one who ratted out Tony D. And he's the one who sent him to jail. All the while, they've been painting Gallus as the one who did all the dirt. But in the end, it was Stax. He was tired of being called the underboss. He was tired of living that life in Tony D's shadow. So he got rid of him so he can take over the operation. And that's what the deal was. The whole damn, Jared, can I finish? Go on and get in the shower. No. You being real petty.
You know it's funny.
All right. Anyways. Don't get married. It's a trap. I promise you that. Anyway. Don't look at me like that. Stax put Tony D in jail to take over the operation. He was done with being called the underboss. He wants to be the Don. So that is the reason why he set up Tony D and made it look like Gallus is the one who took him out, when in fact it was him. He then cost Malik and Idris their opportunity at getting the tag team championships to protect Gallus. Gallus and Stax seems to be in their little cahoots. They have their own little thing going on. I guess Joe Coffey's deal was to, pretend to be kidnapped, and Stax was going to help the Gallus boys maintain their footing as the tag team champions. I don't want to see Gallus as tag team champions. I'm not a fan of it. It's not fun to watch in terms of them being a tag team. They're not fun to watch as a tag team champion. They are fun on the offense, more specifically on the defense, trying to regain the tag team championships. They're more dangerous in that way than they are as champions. They're not interesting. They're boring. I'm sorry, but they're boring. Match wise, they're boring as well. Idris and Malik deserve those titles. I don't understand why they had to do them like this. This really pissed me off. Um, Michaels is all I get what my Shawn Michaels was trying to do, but to use Idris and Malik to get that storyline over like that really, really sticks in my craw. You could have had the perfect opportunity to get those titles onto Idris and Malik, even if it was only for a month. And then you could have dropped it to Los Lotharios if that's what you wanted to do, or whoever else. But those boys earned those titles. They should have had those titles a long time ago. There have been people who have come into the to NXT after them and have been champions 2 times over. Pretty Deadly being one of them. Gallus now being champions. Okay, you've got Creed brothers, they've been champions, which it was rightfully so. But you're talking about bypassing the good team of Idris and Malik to give it to them. All right, that really made me angry. Like that legitimately pissed me off, and I don't understand why they couldn't give them the titles. I don't get it. So hold on a second. Let me get to the comments. I won't be able to take the honors program opportunity. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's okay. Maybe I'll get it next time. Hmm. Sounds like robbery to me. Ugh. These matches on this card were just giving me anxiety. I just was so pissed at the first 2 matches. I knew that Thea wasn't going to win, but to lose like that just makes it even fucking worse. And now I have to run around here listening to Tiffany Stratton's punk ass sound like a 2-year-old. I'm the champion and you're terrible. Like, that's going to make me gag. And it's like, bitch, you're speaking. That's gagging enough. Okay? Go to hell. Let that man sing. No, I'm not going to let him sing. Absolutely not. Hello, Alexis. He said, you know, it's funny. That's because he's a jackass. Um, Moving on. Ooh, this was my favorite match of the night. I freaking love this match. Okay. You had Nathan Frazier going up against Dragon Lee, and man, did they show their asses in this match. This match was dope. It legitimately was so much fun to watch. These two, Nathan Frazier is a rare breed, and he's always in a match, and he always has like one of the best matches, no matter who he's up against. It could be Axiom, it can be Noam Dar, it can be Dragon Lee, it could be anybody, and he always shows up and shows out. Like this right here was absolute perfection. I will never not say that. Like this was so much fun to watch. So much fun to watch. So, like I said, Tiffany Stratton is still your NXT Women's Champion, and Nathan Frazier is still your Heritage Cup champion. Nathan Frazier, they ended up going 1-1 towards the middle of the rounds, and right at the last second, Nathan Frazier was able to get that pin with 1 second left on the clock. With 1 second left on the clock, it was nuts. That match was crazy because the counters between him and Dragon Lee were insane. But I loved it. It was so much fun to watch. I love that match. I could rewatch it over and over and over again. It was just that good. He is that guy. He definitely is that guy. He's fun to watch, and it was amazing. Now, we did see later on, earlier in the show, before that match, that Axiom gave Nathan Frazier, okay, some props here. Okay. He basically said he was happy that, he was champion, and congrats to him. And he was eyeing that Heritage Cup championship. And Nathan Frazier thanked him and moved on. And of course, yeah, boy. Y'all little Reginald the koala was standing there like, I see you eyeing that championship. And he was like, I want that championship bad. He could taste it. He wanted it. So it looks like it may be at Great American Bash. It might be Nathan Frazier versus Axiom, part 45,623 for the Heritage Cup Championship, which I'm not mad at because those two had put on a series that set the tone for Nathan Frazier in NXT. And even though Axiom ended up winning that series, it was Nathan Frazier who ended up getting the better end of the bag. You feel me? But we're going to move on, child. Now, Bronco and Lucian, they cut another promo today. These are some big boys. Okay? These are some big boys. Okay, we not talking about like, just they just real thick. Like these are some real corn fed big boys. Like these is some scary knuckles. Okay. But they was talking about their days and how they really invested in football to get themselves out of the hard neighborhood that they were living in, and how this became the norm for them. They really enjoyed playing football, but they were going a little too hard with it. And one got kicked off his team. The other one also got kicked off, and they both decided to invest in wrestling instead. And this now is going to be their new home. And they said they ain't coming in to make no friends. They got each other. They don't need that. They coming in to dominate. And I was like, dominate what? Like, what are you here to dominate? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What do you mean? What's going on? Like, woo! Okay. But the boys are coming. Now they've been coming soon for the last 3 weeks. So I would imagine they may make their debut at NXT, Great American Bash, or sometime after that. If they do, I would love that because it seems like the tag team division in NXT is heating up real good. It's coming to a ball. It was at a slow simmer, but now it's at a ball, baby. Okay, we like that. But Bronco and Lucian, I see y'all. Y'all a mess. um Now Eddie Thorpe has been practicing with Gable Steveson, and he keeps alluding to the fact that he knows Damon Kim. He's been following his career since college. But baby, that's his brother. So of course he followed him. NXT Underground is supposed to debut next week, and Eddie Thorpe is getting prepared with Gabe Stevenson or Gable Stevenson, whatever he called himself, being the one who trained him on traditional ground and pound wrestling. He had to learn that in order to be able to go up against Damon Kim. I don't think that there's a coincidence that Gable Stevenson came up to his to Eddie Thorpe and was like, you know, I'll help you out. I'll help you train. That just seemed way too good, out of nowhere. Like, he's going to cost Eddie Thorpe this match. He's going to be a factor. He's going to be involved, and he's going to hold his brother's hands up, and they're going to walk away. Damon Kemp is a slimy weasel of a bastard, and his brother ain't too far behind. So as far as I'm concerned, all of this lovey-dovey kumbaya bullshit they had going on in this training session, I ain't buying it. I ain't buying it. Return to sender, bitch. I don't trust you, and I don't trust your soul glow, Jerry curl juice wearing ass brother either. I don't trust him. I don't trust him. Sidebar: interview with the vampire is on Tubi for 3 more days. Sorry. Wow. Congrats. I hope you guys enjoy that. So we had another women's match that went on this particular show. All right. Hold on, y'all. All right, my pet. Gigi Dolan returned to have her match with Kiana James. She went up against Kiana James. They had a decent show. I mean, a decent match. And Kiana tried to cheat. Once again, Gigi was able to thwart the cheating, and she won the match. But Kiana was pissed. She was not satisfied with that. So she ended up attacking Gigi after the show. And she ended up pouring orange and blue paint on the girl after the show to humiliate her that came out of that fuck ass bag she keep walking around with. I'm not quite a lot of y'all like that shit. I don't. I find that to be humiliating and disrespectful personally. I feel like you ain't gotta do all of that in order for you to make a statement. You could have just beat her down, but for you to pour paint on her like that and disrespect that girl like that, you need to have your ass whooped. And as far as I'm concerned, she need to catch your ass in the parking lot, whoop your ass like Blair Davenport been doing the rest of these hoes that got injured. I would tear your ass a new one in that NXT parking lot. I would stump a mud hole in your ass. And then I would take all of the contour and highlight that you keep spreading across them thick ass cheeks of yours, and then I will pour that all over your face or smear it, whichever works for you. Okay? Because right now, all I see is a tacky ass bitch with this 1992 bag overnight spend the night bag she keep coming out the house with, and it's bedazzled on the front of all fucking things. Okay? You mad disrespectful, fuck ass Kiana. You need to get your shit together. You couldn't do no shit like that. They come to me talking about this is script. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, it's not. Well, Tiffany, this is what we're going by. No, no. She is not pouring paint on me. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, if y'all go ahead with this and that girl pours that paint on me, she going to the hospital. I guarantee you right now. Hospital. Okay? Not hospital. Not hospital. She going to the hospital. Okay? She going to hell. I'm taking her out. Ain't no way. That's not happening. Anyway, Blair Davenport attacked Roxanne while she was answering some questions on Snapchat. And now the match has been set. So Blair Davenport is going to go up against Roxanne next week. Next week is 4th of July. Did y'all know that? I didn't even realize that we was that close to the end of the month. Next week is the 4th of July, child. If you celebrate the nation's holiday, congratulations. Rhea Ripley issued a warning to Carmelo Hayes. She told him last week Judgment Day had business in NXT, but it didn't have nothing to do with you. She said very plainly, stay out of Judgment Day business or you'll be Judgment Day business. And Trick Williams was saying, like, you got gold, but your gold is bigger. I was like, what the fuck? It's something wrong with you, bro. It's something wrong with you. Anyways, he was cutting up. Rhea told him to shut up, and she told Carmella to stay out of Judgment Day business. Well, girl, you on a show that don't have nothing to do with you. You do not go here. In the words of Bianca, go back home. You don't have shit to do this weekend. You ain't got nobody to fight. Typical. You have no opponent, no rivalry. Typical. Becky tore your ass a new one on Monday Night Raw. You didn't do shit about that. Typical. Girl, the only thing you got going for you is that you fucking Dominic. He got a better winning streak than you do. Sad. Okay? So right now, you need to be going about your business. Go back to Raw so you can finish petting Dominic and telling him what to do and say. Because he don't move without your coochie lips orders. Okay? That's how that works. At this point, let the men's beat that ass since she want to buck at all the men's all the time. Typical. It's typical Rhea Ripley. Typical mommy Ripley. Typical. You do nothing. You do nothing and get all the glory. One good match for the year, you said. You don't have to do shit else. Sad. Okay? Sad. Anyways, now earlier in the night, JC Jane was in the back popping her cool shit, talking all her bullshit, popping off at the mouth, talking about how niggas shouldn't be getting no matches, how she peaked that battleground, how Lyra ain't shit, ain't gonna never be shit. And Tatum was just egging her ass on, like, you know what? The next time you see her, you should tell her. She was like, you're right. I'm gonna tell her. Lyra came walking up. She said, "Hey, JC." Bam! Hit that bitch dead in her mouth. That's the kind of bitch I like. That's the kind of bitch I like. You want to talk shit about me, ho? That's okay. You want to keep talking shit? I done gave you a warning, bitch. I done gave you a warning to keep your mouth shut when you talking about. Don't even say that. Don't even think about me. Don't even worry about me. Don't even let me cross your mind, ho. The moment I cross your mind, you need to be going the other way. But you didn't do that. Now you on the floor looking for your teeth. Then she got down next to your ass and said, "Bitch, I told you I don't play them games, ho. I told you." Then here come Rhea Ripley. Typical mommy Ripley. Like, you kind of deserved it. Lyra's a badass. Yeah, Lyra's a badass, but you ain't been doing that for the last 4 months, ho. Shouldn't you be more concerned about what the fuck you been doing? You see what happens when you got too much time on your hands. You see? You can always mind somebody else's business. Jesus. Jesus Christ. Goodness me. Anyways, the final match was between Baron Corbin and Carmelo Hayes. And Baron Corbin came out there in his lone wolf persona. Okay? He brought back the lone wolf persona. Very good, Baron Corbin. Very good. We see you, Caillou. We see you trying to grow up and be something. We see you trying to grow up and be a flower. But baby, you always gonna be a weed, a dandelion. And that's how you got treated today. But I will tell you this. You fought your ass off in that match. You even showed us them flabby guts that you got, which bitch we didn't ask to see. We didn't ask to see none of that. You should have kept your shirt on, baby. However, you and Carmelo Hayes had a hard fought battle. He took you to your limits. But the one thing you couldn't do was best his infernal majesty. You just couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it. You lost. You did everything you could. Your deep six, all of that. You did everything you could, baby, but you just could not best his infernal majesty. You just couldn't do it. And now your ass still ain't NXT champion, which means you went all the way down there to NXT talking all that shit, did all of that, and you still lost. You're still a loser, Caillou. A loser. You tried to disrespect the man last week. You came out here with all the guns, pulled out all the stops, and your ass still lost. Now your shirt hanging in the rafters with the rest of the losers. You're a loser. It don't matter what persona you come out as, you're a loser. And you proved it today. Loser. I don't know. I didn't listen to his entrance. You would have to go back to the Twitter and check out his they put his entrance on Twitter. You can see for yourself. So, like I said, Carmelo Hayes maintained his NXT championship as we all thought he would. Okay. He is your current reigning champion, as is Tiffany Stratton, Nathan Frazier, and Gallus. Everybody retained their championships today. Nobody lost it. Okay. Despite the controversial ending to most matches, nobody lost their championship today, which was kind of fucking sad. Anyways, Brian Breaker decided to have a meltdown in Shawn Michaels' office at the end of the show. They was trying to get him to explain, but he was having such a meathead moment that he couldn't articulate what exactly was going on with him or why he was mad, and then he went and got him some Just for Men because you see he had to help fill in them patches. Now AJ said he took my advice, but ain't no way no fuck ass Cora who be guzzling Bud Light was able to do any of what I was suggesting somebody do for this man last week. Okay. I know Just for Men and pencils when I see it. That is definitely some dye and a little bit of topic sprinkled in between. Okay. That man don't know how to grow no hair. He definitely don't. But do you? Do you, Bronny? Do you? Brian is giving Ronnie Jersey Shore 2000s days. Okay. Just a meathead. Anyways, they said we gonna have to find out what happened or why he's so pissed off. I don't really care, to be honest. Go away. I really don't care. Go away. Go away. He missed the spot still. That's sad. Oh, you see it. My man had a temper tantrum again. Like, does he need a Snickers or did he forget to eat his Wheaties? I don't know. But he always mad. This is his basic face. This is how he look all the time. He said he be holding people accountable, but did you hold yourself accountable when you lost that championship match to Seth freaking Rollins last week? No, you ain't hold yourself accountable. What you do? You went in Shawn Michaels' office and start crying and shit, bitching and complaining and moaning. That's what you did. But that's you, baby. You take your crispity, crunchity looking ass on somewhere because I don't have nothing to do with that, and I don't. I generally don't care about what's going on with you. I really don't. Um. Metaphor showed up on NXT talking about their nails. Nathan Frazier still, I mean, Noam Dar still crying because he lost his Heritage Cup. He ain't challenged for it again or nothing. He just crying about it, child. He ain't even worried about it. I guess they just gonna keep moving forward with Nathan Frazier as champion and then move into Axiom and Nathan Frazier possibly battling it out for that NXT Heritage Cup. I really enjoy that Heritage Cup championship. I really wish they would not make him carry around the trophy and let him have a belt that would symbolize the Heritage Cup and then have the cup out there. You hold the cup, you put the belt on, and the cup is a symbol of the Heritage Cup championship, but it has a belt. And on each belt, you put all the names of the winners, and then you'll have enough room for side plates for the current winner, and then of course your name will go on there on the side. Like they need to do something like that because carrying around that big ass cup is weird. I don't know about y'all, but to me it's weird. I feel like you can incorporate the cup but still have a more traditional WWE championship with it. Even if you take it to NXT Europe and you have NXT Europe, I still think that you can do that without making it too much of a fuss. You feel what I'm saying? But anyways, Jakara and Lash Legend called out Ronda and Shayna today because they was like, "We got our W, and girl, we looking at you." I was like, "Okay, girl, if you're gonna do what you did last week in a match with Ronda and Shayna, I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna tell you straight up, babe. I'm not gonna give you no leeway because just because we sisters, from another mother, doesn't mean that I'm finna give you any leeway to fuck up any further. You two hoes gotta tighten up and clean up. Period. There's no wiggle room for that. All right. Anyways, that was pretty much NXT with the exception of Schism having their moment. Now, Schism was out there having a family meeting. I don't know why Ava thought we had to be a part of that. Most of the time, family meetings happen behind the scenes where everybody is not involved. Okay. But sis decided that she wanted to have her family meeting in front of everybody. And the dyad is just like, nigga, listen, you've been lying to us since day one. You told us that we had a purpose and that we was working together as a collective. But he like 1 minute you inclusive, the next minute you exclusive. 1 minute you inclusive, the next minute you exclusive. He said, which is it? Pick a lane, bitch. He said, you can't keep lying to us like this. Now you telling us that you want to do one thing, but your actions and your speeches do something else. And he like, you end up putting us in a dangerous position where we're the ones who have to fight ourselves out of it. And I don't like that shit. And Joe Gacy was like, well, since I'm such a dictator and I make all the decisions, why you not out here dressed like us? Why you not out here moving like us? He said, I let you be yourself, your individual self, but we got one goal, one common goal, and that is to grow and spread the movement. But you don't want to do that. You want to have your own personal accolades and shit. You know what I'm saying? You want to be praised for doing the bare minimum. And I ain't doing that. They start arguing, going back and forth, and A was like, please stop, daddy, big bros, don't cry. Oh, girl. That's when Diamond Mine came out there. And it was like, oh, this little family reunion is real cute, but we don't want to hear it. Please kindly take your asses to the back and have this conversation quietly where we don't have to listen to you. And they was like, we didn't invite you, like, mind your fucking business. And they were like, you invited us because you're in the middle of the ring. And it was just a whole to do. Finally, what we get down to is that the Dyad and, of course, Diamond Mine have a little bit of a stipulation added on to their match next week on the 4th of July episode of NXT. The boys are going to be fighting, but whoever wins is to stay in NXT, and whoever loses leaves. Now, we all know how this is going to play out because the Diaz contract runs out in October, and WWE is not about that life when it comes to letting people wrestle their entire contract out. They don't do that. They not finna pay you to be on TV and then leave. They not finna do that. They done already got that situation with CM Punk. They are not doing that with this one, okay? They've been covering their asses on that front for a very long time. So we all know how this is going to play out if you keep your ear close to the streets. The Dyad more than likely is going to lose this match, and Schism is going to be fractured forever. Now, how this is going to play out in Joe Gacy and Ava Rain's favor, I don't know. But Joe Gacy did say something that was very poignant during their little confrontation with each other. And basically, what he said, my decisions is what got us Ava, and I will never apologize for that. And I was like, oh, now he riding for Ava Rain. The Dyad was like, bitch, I was here first. He was like, but I appreciate Ava. She's here. She's been working for us. She's been doing everything she can for the family, and y'all out here complaining. The Dyad was like, but bitch, I was here first. So that it's just fuck us because you like this bitch. Okay, you and her chompers can have it. Cause we don't want it. Now in the back, they issued the challenge. Diamond Mine issued the challenge. Is loser leaves the NXT. And Diane was like, oh, we don't have time for this. We got family shit to work out. And Joe Gacy said, oh, okay, we accept. We accept your challenge. They was like, what the fuck? They get in the back, and Ava Rain's like, I know you're upset. They were like, no, we're tired. Okay. I was like, oh, not you tired. What are you tired from? The exhaustion of losing? Is that what you're tired of? Don't get me wrong, I love GYV. I think GYV gets so railroaded out here in these streets because they deserve so much better. But baby, listen. They said some real shit. They was like, Joe Gacy keep putting us in situations where he doesn't have the answers, and he wants us to then get us out of it. When we lose, it's our fault. It's a problem. But it's his fault because he keeps opening his mouth. He keeps talking for us. He said either he is gonna get his shit together and fix this, or we will. And I was like, well, what y'all gonna do? Because if you lose next week, baby, there's nothing for you to fix. It's nothing. It's nothing to fix, babe. Once you lose, you're gone. Gone, gone, babe. You're gone. Well, now this could play out one of two ways. Joe Gacy and the Dyad could actually win that match, and Diamond Mine could be sent up the roof where Jesus to the upper room, okay? That don't mean that Diamond Mine will be leaving WWE. It just means they'll be finally ascending to the main roster where they rightfully deserve to be. You feel me? But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this could go one of two ways. Diamond Mine could end up getting kicked out of NXT and end up going to the main roster, or Dyad could end up leaving, and that would leave Ava Rain and Joe Gacy to run amok on the main roster on NXT's roster by their lonesome. Now, I don't know if that's the route that I would go. I would do a swerve and send um Diamond Mine up. I really, really would, because there's nothing left for them to do. Ivy can challenge for the NXT Women's Championship if she wants to, but she's not gonna win as long as Tiffany Stratton is champion. So it's cool. But that's how I would do it. I would send her up. I feel like Ivy would thrive on the main roster if they book her properly. Like I would enjoy it. He mad at himself. Nobody told him to lose that title. I mean, period. Make the European Championship. Oh, you could make it the European Championship. Very good idea, Kenny. You definitely could do that. Would you look at that? That's right on time. It's giving false prophet Casey. That's what they said, honey. Tired of the ghetto drama. They was fighting out here in these streets today. Now, they set the next stage for next week's show for 4th of July. So you're gonna have NXT Underground. You're gonna have Roxanne and Blair Davenport. You're gonna have, I think JC and Lyra Valkyrie are gonna fight next week as well. You're also going to have um the Dyad versus Diamond Mine loser leaves NXT match. And I'm sure they'll have something else in tow. So you got a lot going on, honey, and they're getting ready to start shaping up for NXT Great American Bash. It is on July 30th. They say Money in the Bank is completely sold out, which I'm not surprised about. And SummerSlam has limited tickets and seats available. That's great for WWE. They seem to be having a banger of a year. And we all saw Rhea Ripley pop up on NXT, and that's supposed to be a regular occurrence for a lot of main roster superstars. They're going to be popping into NXT to give some more ratings to NXT. Now, I saw a lot of people a little bit upset that Ronda Rousey is rumored to be going to NXT for a bit of a stint, but that again is to boost NXT's ratings and to obviously put the tag team titles on the line in NXT. More than likely, like I said yesterday, they will have Ronda and Shayna defending those NXT tag team championships or the tag team championships, period, at NXT Great American Bash, since they are being defended at Money in the Bank against Raquel and Liv. I would be surprised if Raquel and Liv got those titles off of Ronda and Shayna so quickly. Would I be mad at it? No, but I would be very surprised. However, this coming Friday, we got a lot going on because, again, Pretty Deadly is going to be competing against Kevin and Sammy. And, of course, Charlotte's going to be challenging Asuka for her women's championship. And, of course, the Bloodline is taking over again because Roman is popping back up so that he and his cousins can have one more showdown in the O2 Arena before tomorrow, that Saturday night, they go out and battle it out for the control of the bloodline, I guess, or to just, bragging rights over the other. It's just gonna be pure and unbridled chaos. But Money in the Bank is this Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're gonna have Roman and Solo versus the Usos for the Bloodline Civil War. And of course, you're gonna have this this match between Finn and Seth, which I would imagine is going to be the best match of the night. These guys are going to be fighting over that beautiful World Heavyweight Championship that Seth has been coveting ever since he won it. Matt Riddle is going to take on Gunther, aka Beaker, for his Intercontinental Championship. And the tag team championships, the women's tag team championships, are being contested at Money in the Bank. Now, there are two Money in the Bank ladder matches happening tonight or that night. You're going to have Logan Paul, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Butch, and Damian Priest all competing for that coveted briefcase. And then on the women's side, you got six competitors. You've got Becky Lynch, Zelina Vega, Bailey, Zoe Stark, Trish Stratus, and Io Sky also competing for that coveted briefcase. And then finally, you got my least favorite match of the night. Dominic Mysterio will be facing off against Cody Rhodes for whatever fucking reason. And they're going to battle it out for bragging rights over the other. Do I care? No. I feel like Brock Lesnar's going to show up and fuck that up anyway, so doesn't matter. Now, after that, 29 days after that, you're going to have the NXT Great American Bash Premium Live event. That's going to go live from Cedar Park, Texas on July 30th. That is a Sunday at Eastern Standard Time. You're going to be also regaled with SummerSlam in Detroit at Ford Field on August 5th. This program also starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then after that, we're going to have Payback happen on Saturday, September 2nd at Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And it's going to be at Paints Arena. And this one is going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The tickets go on sale today, actually. At 10 a.m., they were on sale. And then we have Fastlane that is going to be on October 7th, which is also a Saturday, and it's going to be live from Indianapolis. All right, so those are your next pay per views for the next 4 months. Those are the pay per views. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of NXT Gold Rush. This was the final week of NXT's Gold Rush. And NXT Gold Rush was pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. I actually quite enjoyed it. We love that, don't we? With all that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow with Freestyle Wednesday. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. And make sure tomorrow you come back with all your questions and everything that you want to talk about, because tomorrow is going to be Q&A day. Okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Get some sleep. Deuces. Thank y'all so much for being here, and I appreciate every single one of you guys for being a part of my show. Please be sure to check out my wrestling podcast, Down for the Count, with my girls, and of course, the personal podcast with the entertainment, pop culture, and news of the KTT podcast. Like I said before, we have pop culture that we just love to talk about. Okay, pop culture includes any and all celebrity news. I have the Red Rum True Crime series, where I talk about all of the stories in the news that have to do with murder and anything very, very high profile in terms of murder. And of course, we have Am I the Asshole Fridays and Twitter stories. That includes my personal recap of the SBC chat and of course some Reddit Am I the Asshole stories that need my advice, honey, because I just love to talk. So if you love me, please do me a favor, run on